and welcome to my channel. I promised that I'd show how I make my mosaic pieces and put them with even spacing in between those little stones on my box so it looks like how it's supposed to be looking and not all crooked. And I came up with an idea that why not stick them back into the mat that I poured them in. So I made a little design, the one that I desired, and I poured a really thin layer of resin over it with no color, and it's not too thin and not too thick because the stones have to be sticking to each other. If it's too thin, they're gonna break apart. It's just like they have been separated again. Yeah. As you can see, is the stones with the glitter, they look raised, and I like that. Well, my design, the mat was too small for the box that I wanted to put it on, and so I had to make two pieces. So here I'm trying to really careful peeling the mat off of that design piece. And you have to be really careful because there's a lot in those spaces in between that has to be has to make or has to be made loose, or however you call that. And even if single stones are not sticking to the whole mat, you can later put them back in and glue them back on. So, and then you can put it back together, and even if you have small ones that are not popping out, you just put them back on. So, but when you put the single ones on, you have to be careful that you put them in the right direction, because top and bottom is something that matters. So, and as you can see, now we have a little problem, because ever since my mat isn't the new one anymore that it used to be, it has deformed itself through the heat from curing the resin. It's more like roundish on the corners. So I have to get me a new one just for that purpose, to making my designs in. And this is the box that I want to put it on top of. And I colored it in white because I want the colors of the stones really to pop. And if you put a darker color underneath, it will always dull the colors that the resin has. So, as you can see, the resin already has a really beautiful coloration, and the white makes it pop. So I seen some overspill that I have to cut off before I put those pieces on the box top. Ever since the resin isn't fully cured, you can just take it off with a scissor. So I like the way how shiny it is already, even if no clear layer of resin is on top of it. So I have to think about something that makes those gaps not show as much as they show right now. But there you see that the mold that I was pouring it in was really curved. And now I made the top a little too big. Better too big than too small, because uh, bigger you can always cut off. And I was thinking about what can I do to shorten that a little. I could have put on top or on the bottom another row of stones, but I didn't want that, um, because I had to do that all over again then for that one single line of stones. So I'm trying to separate one row a little bit from the other, and I'm bending it downward so my scissor can get in between and cut uh, that single row off that I won't be needing. And you said ever since the resin is not cured fully, uh, they won't break apart. So I have a leftover, and for me it looks somehow like a bracelet. I'll be keeping that and trying to figure out what to do with it next. Now I have to take care of those two gaps in between the green stones, and I was thinking about it, and and then I thought I might color the white spots with some green Sharpie, and that's what I did. I'm looking for my Sharpies right now because I didn't have them around. Uh, because I didn't figure out that gap was so large. So I'm searching for my green Sharpies. I have two or three of them. And now I'm just coloring the areas where I think the gap might be. Well, I thought the gap would be there, but it's not really. I missed the spot a little, and yeah. But I guess in the end it comes out all right. And I don't do that in a very beautiful way because I was just trying to fix a mistake that I made. And I'm not a perfectionist. I rather have pieces they look like they're handmade, and yeah, this is just me. Everybody else can do as they wish, but ever since I'm not a perfect person, I don't have to be perfect art. So I'm trying to figure out which place is the right one to do that. And those two little stones that are separated from the whole piece, they annoy me a little because every time you move the thing, you have to stick them in and put them back where they belong. But only two little pieces, so I won't be worried about that too much. So here I'm fixing the placing of the green color because I went too much to the left. Should have went more to the right. So, but luckily I got it finally to fit my needs. So just a little piece. And stick this one back in because it keeps falling off. This is how it would look like if we glued it on. So the glue that I'm using to glue those pieces on is ordinary glue for woodworking. This glue is drying clear, so it won't be showing on the bottom of that. So I'm using this, and I'm not too how you say that? I use a lot of glue, so it adhere the whole thing really good. I could have used something else than a spoon to to divide the glue, but a spoon was what I had at hand, so I used that. And as you see, the glue isn't. This is not really a thin layer of glue, but ever since it dries clear and you won't see it, I don't mind that. And it has a reason why I put a little more glue on it. And I tell you when I'm finished putting the glue on. Oh no, it's right here. Okay, you can see if it's not placed right, you can move it around. And that's another reason why I use more glue than I really need. More glue on the other side. That looks somehow like I'm trying to make some flowers into resin, huh? And spreading the glue again to the places where I need it. Yeah, it's like cake frosting. So that should be done now. So then I take my other piece and put it on. And now I can like arrange where I want it to finally be resting on the top of that box. Pressing it a little on. Now I got it crooked. I guess this is how I left it. All right. I'm not good at voiceovers because this is like, oh my God. So to glue the missing pieces on, I use a little bit more of that glue because there is that clear layer underneath the other ones that we need to fill up. So that's why I used a little more glue on those two dots. So we have one whole layer. They're not raised or falling down. So, and I swipe the rest or the overflow from the glue away. So I won't be having that. I guess you'll see that if you put the resin on it because it magnifies everything. And if I wipe it away up front while it's still wet, there's no fuss at all. Well, the gaps, they still bother me, but you know, what can you do? So you have to let this dry completely. The glue doesn't take hours to dry, only about an hour, I guess. But I leave it longer than that, and yeah, so I'm sure that it's completely dry. I did that. I glued the top on another box already, so I can show you on that video um, how I prepare my boxes to pour the clear layer of resin on. So just wipe the spoon because I hate waste, and I'm always sorry for the cups and all the stirring sticks and all the stuff that you don't that you can't use over when you just don't wipe it right away. So what I do is um, I use masking tape and heat to adhere the tape to the sides of the box, so I have a somewhat raised um, wall so the resin won't flow over. That doesn't work really good with gloves, so I take them off and I put the tape on the sides of the box. And you have to be doing that really, really good, because if you're not taking care that uh, the tape adheres really safely on that box top, you will have a leakage, and believe you me, you don't want that. I had that once, and I haven't fixed that box yet because I don't really have an idea on how I do that. But if I do, I'll show that in a video. So I surrounded the box with the tape, and now I'm trying to make sure that it's really sticking really, really good on there. And as you can see, I didn't make that wall that high because I won't be needing a ton of resin to put on it, only a small amount, so it covers the uh, the ridges in between those stones, and it makes an evenly how you say that a nice top of that box. And what I'm doing right now is I'm taking the hair dryer, and the heat of the hair dryer activates the glue that's on that tape. So I'm heating it up slightly. This is not a heat gun, it's just an ordinary hair dryer, because the heat gun will burn the size of the box, I guess. And when it's warm, I really, really try to press it to the walls of that box. And it worked really well, I might say, from my experience right now. There's nothing more frustrating than if your resin leaks out underneath the tape and it closes the box right back up, and you can't just do nothing about it, because when the resin is cured, it will destroy the box, because to open it back up you have to like take a saw or something. So I'm almost at the end, and yeah, this is how how it's supposed to look like. And in the next part of this video, I show you how to cover that and the other one with resin. And yeah, and I look forward to seeing you back here.